Now there are 131 active deep underground military bases in the United States. There's 1,477 of them worldwide. What you call high tech. We have nothing like this on the surface. These mega bases are gobbling up our gross national product. Right now we're spending 28% of the gross national product on building underground bases. Each one has an average cost of $17 to $19 billion. And the black budget is dead wrong. It sidesteps the United States Congress and its Constitution of its people and says you're a bunch of morons you don't need to know. Each one is built in the site. It used to be it'd take a year to 2 years to build each one, and now they're capable of building a couple of them a year. The infamous Area 51, S4, S2, a CIA base. The high-speed railways, the magneto-leviton trains that connect all the deep underground military bases within the United States. It employs over 18,000 workers who work in shifts of 12 hours at a whack. Most of them work in the cover of darkness. Each with an average capacity capable of basically a city underground, roughly 4.25 cubic miles.
This is crazy. A former Bush official claims that the United States spent $21 trillion building a secret underground city. Her name is Catherine Austin Fitts, and she formerly served as Bush's Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. He says that the United States government built this in secret in case of a near extinction event for the rich and powerful. She claims that this isn't just some underground tunnel, but that this is a massive underground city across the United States with over 170 bases. She even says some are under the ocean and that they are all connected with transportation. She started researching this in 2020 and says that on her website, missingmoney.com, you can go and look at the actual government financials and make a decision whether or not this is true for yourself. Now, there have been theories about this for decades. So are we finally getting the proof?
Revelation 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come. Who shall be able to stand? Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakahak Radash. Salutations to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who do well for teaching in truth and sincerity. Salutations to the hopeful elect. To you, Ashe Shalom. The heathens will try to hide. Revelation 6 and 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island was moved out of their place. 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. That was 16. Revelation 6 and 16. This is Revelation 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, who shall be able to stand? On that great day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the skies are going to open up like a scroll. The same way you would if you seen a scroll open up. That's how them chariots, the UFOs, are going to part those skies and assist those nuclear missiles with lasers to just straight destroy America and just straight up destroy Babylon the Great with fervent nuclear heat. That's why this place is going to be called a lake of fire. And it's going to be a desert after that. It's going to burn for such a long time that this place is only going to be inhabited by wild beasts. And every man who's rich, those wealthy elite bankers, all these people running around here with all this money, and they've built shelters, bunkers underground. The wicked elite have built, and the military have built underground cities which stretch, quote unquote, stretch throughout the United States. They think they're going to be able to hide in these bunkers and weather the storm. They think they're going to be able to weather that nuclear storm, and when all the radiation kind of settles down, they're going to come out and rebuild. That's not going to happen. Scripture tells you that he that leadeth in captivity will go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. So when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai returns with a host of angels in those ships, they're going to guide those missiles straight to America and assist them with lasers to straight melt this place, turn this place into a lake of fire. So when these people think that when that smoke clear, they're going to come back up and just prosper, that's a negative. They're going into captivity. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the angels and the elect, will pluck these people up out of these bunkers, out of these caves, wherever they're dwelling at. They're going to pluck them out and lead them straight into captivity to rebuild the nation of Israel. The face that sitteth on the throne, that's Yahweh. That's who they fear. And from the wrath of the Lamb, that's his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. They fear those two names. They don't want to see those two faces. They don't want to see Yahweh Shai come back in those chariots and destroy this place. They think they'll be able to prosper forever. Isaiah 2 and 10. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust for fear of the Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty. They fear Yahweh. They fear that name. That's why they don't want no one preaching that name. They don't want nobody teaching no one that name. Hebrews 11 and 38, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. These people are not worthy to rule. But Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is a man of balance. So you have good and evil. So there's a perfect balance to this thing. So they have their time to rule. But they don't want to give up that rule. They think they're going to be able to rule forever. But according to scriptures, they will be led into captivity. The same way they led us into captivity, they will be led into captivity to rebuild the nation of Israel. Micah 7:17, they shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of Yahweh, our power, and shall fear because of thee. They're going to be made low. They were made low during the time after during the time of what they call the Renaissance, the Dark Ages. They were made low. They didn't have no rulership. They were treated like the scum of the earth. But that was only for a period of time. So when they came back into power, they ruled with an iron rod, with an iron fist. And that's what we're going through now, that second leg of the Roman Empire. We're feeling their wrath. But that wrath is only for a period of time. That wrath is until Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai returns and deliver his elect and purge he's going to deliver his elect and 1/3 of Israel, and he will purge 2/3 of Israel with fire. Isaiah 2:19, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terrible the earth. That word majesty, when you go into the Hebrew, you go into the Strong's Concordance, that's H1347.
Strong's H1347. Gaon. Gaon.
It's pronounced in the modern Hebrew. It's pronounced Gahon. In the Paleo Hebrew, if I'm correct, that would be pronounced Ganau. Ganau, which means excellency. That's what they're going to fear. They're going to fear the excellency of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And when he ariseth on that day, the earth is going to shake terribly. So on that day, it's going to be a beautiful day for some. But it's going to be a terrifying day for most. Those who did not come back to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will have a terrifying day. The wicked elite, the heathens, the heathen nations, they're going to have a terrible day. Because they're going to see the excellency of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai when he arrives in those ships to deliver his elect and the remnant of Israel, who remembered his name, who exalted his name, who magnified his name, who sang his name in a song. He's coming back to deliver his elect, his first fruit spirits. And the only thing you can do is hope and pray that you're a part of that elect, that remnant, hoping that you can do the work, hoping that you can stay in line, rehearsing the righteous acts until the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's return. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So at the moment, we're living in a wicked society. Babylon the Great, the spirit of Sodom and Egypt, all those wicked kingdoms that once ruled during a certain time period are all back spiritually, reside all spiritually in Babylon the Great. And we just have to keep exalting the name, praising the name Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai until his return, and hopefully you will be delivered. Hope this was edifying. Kahallah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakahak Radash Shalom.